At 12:06 on this Tuesday, you're listening to the John depetro Show. It's AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. I want to welcome everybody that is tuning in as we're slowly getting on the air right now with our simulcast that we do on Facebook. This is called the Noon Report, and it is obviously, and folks, what a busy morning it has already been. I'm going to bring you up to speed on everything that is happening. First of all, it's actually a very delightful day. It's going to be mild temperatures all week, but we have already been out. Noon Report and the latest on the bank robbery. So that was earlier this morning, and if you haven't seen it, we already have it up on, in fact, good afternoon, by the way, to everybody tuning in on Facebook Live. This is the Noon Report. I see Michelle and Allison, and there's Crystal Davis and everyone else. Folks, again, it's a happening. If you follow the Facebook page, we talk about first one on the scene live stream, and this morning was a good example of it. Now, it all depends on how people want their news. But if you like to see the news unfiltered, in real time, and I can't stress that enough, that it's actually in real time. In some ways, it's almost a challenge to get people to understand that. There's a lot of people, and you can see, we were so far ahead of the rest of the media in arriving on the bank robbery scene this morning. Now, we have a photo of the suspect. If you're just catching wind of this, we have a photo of the suspect up on both Facebook page and also on the website, depetro.com, and you can see exactly what that individual looks like. And you can see, for those of you who are watching some of the coverage this morning, he's wearing that lime green hoodie is what he was wearing, and then he must have thrown it out of the car. But if you saw the footage from earlier, you see we're right there with the canine as they're trying to get a scent on the bank robbery suspect. And I don't know if, in fact, I know now we've learned more of the vehicle that we're trying to locate that the suspect was in. So it's pretty dramatic, but a lot of times, a lot of people don't understand when we say literally it's happening in real time. And I know that it may sound critical of individuals, but people are so accustomed to a television show. This isn't a television show. It's happening in real time. It's obviously real life. And you can see we have the East Greenwich bank robber is right there. Now, we don't know. For those of you who haven't seen it, it's on depetro.com. You can see the teller counting out the money. He's got on, looks like cheap sunglasses and this lime green hoodie with the hood over his head. So this was early this morning, right after 9 o'clock. He knocked off. You can actually see it. It says 9:01. So he came in right at I think they open at 9 o'clock. Maybe it's 8:30. I don't know. But definitely white sunglasses, and he's got the lime green hoodie, which we then found later. So later, if you see the video, now we have the Facebook link, and actually in the Facebook picture that I'm looking at, you can see the lime green hoodie he was wearing. We will have it up. It's on YouTube, but I don't have the YouTube link just yet. But folks, what I want to just explain at 12:10, and this is the Noon Report. We're going to give you the latest of everything that is happening. So for those of you don't get a chance, a lot of people don't understand watching something in real time. If you watch that, right? So what did we know? And I want to thank David Sammartino, who was just fantastic, huge member of Team One. All we know is that the bank was robbed. Now people say, well, what happened? Who are they looking for? How much money did they get away with? It's not a TV show. You watch in real time. This is real life. People are used to, you watch the report afterwards and then you have everything. Now if you watch the video, again, follow the YouTube page, John depetro Show on YouTube, and then obviously if you go to depetro.com, I recognize not everyone's on Facebook, but YouTube is easier. And anyhow, but my point is, you watch, we're following the canine. Now the canine, for whatever reason, ended up in the back. I don't know what the deal was with the scent, but then we watched as the police sped off right across the street near a Starbucks. It's right on the Warwick, East Greenwich, that corner right there of the Dunkin' Donuts. There's a gas station there, Four Seasons. That is the intersection, literally, of East Greenwich, West Warwick, and Warwick. We're all right there. And then you watch in real time that we go and we followed the police to where he had dropped, the suspect seemingly dropped the lime green hoodie. But I do notice that sometimes people are like, well, what's going on and what happened and da da da. Like it's not, like I said, if you put on a television program, normally before you go to the commercial, at whatever time, 10 minutes past, 9 minutes past, you have a synopsis of, they lay out for you. It's not like that in real life. You know, that was very significant that they found the hoodie over there. So it would seem that whoever did this bank robber, robbed the bank, now somehow then got across the street, probably either had a car parked there or someone with them, and it's my understanding took off in a I think it was a green hoodie. I believe that's what it was. But, and again, no weapon was shown. That is exactly right. Newer model. And again, there's definitely some, you're seeing, 5'10", curly hair, lime green hoodie, and then made off in that direction. So, state police definitely trying to track the individual, but I believe it was a Toyota that they believe that the individual took off in. Now, something that is significant is you also had the Saturday morning bank robbery in Pawtucket. Now, I know people sometimes say, Juan, how come, I looked, I don't know what to tell you. I heard about it. I wish I could have got over there. Juan was delayed. And then I did contact the Pawtucket police and learn about that bank robbery. So, folks, you can see all of it on the website, depetro.com. And I'm not lecturing. I just want people to understand that when things are happening in real time, they don't know the name of who is that person? They don't know who it is. Well, where did they go? I don't know. They're looking for him. How much did they take? They're not telling us. If you watch the video, the state trooper, who I don't blame, by the way, but was saying to me, Juan, please back up, because the canine is trying to get a scent. And apparently, because, another human, my scent could suddenly pick it up. I don't need the dog coming after me. Juan is many things, not a bank robber. Folks, this portion of the John DePetro Show, and they are just fantastic. It's PR, Landscape Materials, and Garden Center. They're officially open for the season. I saw them on Sunday. What a beautiful selection they have. 3688 Quaker Lane in North Kingstown. Pansy flats, pansy bags, hangers and bowls, assorted colors, tulips, hyacinths, daffodils, and as I have said, hydrangeas, colors available, blue and pink. To me, that really makes a piece of property pop. They carry a lot of different landscape materials, screen loom, black, brown, hemlock, mulch. Look for them on Facebook. They run a very good Facebook page. And what do I mean by that? Is they're constantly updating. They show a lot of photos. They're open 7 days a week. It's Steve and Debbie and Junior and Byron. Folks, of course, mention the Chosen One when you go in. I want to thank them again. They are loyal sponsors, and we want all of our people that can to stop in there, purchase something. PR, Landscape Materials, and Garden Center. All right, so we do have a lot on the website, depetro.com, depetro.com, and you can see it all right there. And we also, when you log on, we have the Pawtucket Bank robbery, Webster Bank, Newport Avenue, lone suspect. Now, a lot of times, I'd be curious, we haven't seen the footage that I'm aware of. It could be, but I don't believe Pawtucket police have released the footage of who was the suspect with their Saturday morning bank robbery. It could be the same individual. I'm checking right now. I don't see an update from them. Nope. The Pawtucket police do, but many times, if you have followed some of these stories, a lot of these individuals Um, they don't just knock off one bank. They do several banks. They literally go on a bank robbery spree. Now, I also want to remind people, robbing a bank that's a federal crime. That is a federal crime. So, now the locals get them, but it would be then, in essence, those are federal charges that this individual, this bank robber, police responded bank robbery, Bank Rhode Island South County Trail, white male, 5'10", lime green hoodie. Also, possible suspect vehicle, newer model Subaru, Crosstrek or Hyundai, grayish in color, roof racks. So contact the East Greenwich Police Department, and then I'm sure they'll be going through some of the footage. It's funny, as I go into Facebook, you just type that in, my page comes up, which is good. So, but folks, it is up on depetro.com. We will have the YouTube video of it up. The YouTube page just continues to grow. But I want to remind you that it's all brought to you by the Coesit Inn, 226 Coesit Avenue, West Warwick. Hey, listen, stop in there. It's a great place. They're open 7 days a week. They've been going strong since 1977. The staff in there is terrific. The Coesit Inn, 226 Coesit Avenue, West Warwick, and you always want to mention the program when you go in. Now, I want to just make sure, right now at 12:17, and this is a delightful weather week. I know it's also school vacation. Let's see. Look at this. I'm just skimming some of the, and now there's the Channel 12 website. They don't even have anything about it yet. So, and again, everyone covers the news differently, as I've told many of you. Some people react to the news. What we do, and I'm very proud of the work we've done with First One on the Scene live stream. I'm now on the Channel 10 website, and I don't see anything about it. So once again, they certainly don't have anything in Pawtucket. They don't have anything on the East Greenwich robbery. It did just happen. So do we want to go for the trifecta? Is it possible Channel 6 has it? And they don't. Okay. But that's fine. That's fine. And then next hour we'll talk a little bit. I see that Woonsocket firefighter Stephen Casey is joining the 1st congressional race. Hey, you can't count out something like that. You can't outcount someone because that's going to be a very scattered primary. So now let me just do one other check. But the bank robberies, do you see the tone that is happening? They're right now at 12:19. Good afternoon. You're listening to the John DePetro Show on AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. What I want to, of course, now print is totally different, right? Now many of you know, but look at where the media is going right now. A bank was robbed in Pawtucket on Saturday morning, and the only news outlet that has anything about it is depetro.com. That is just remarkable to me. It is. But I already know the answer to that. A lot of times they don't work on the weekend, and they have very skeleton staff. Of course, there's nothing in the Providence Journal, nor would I expect anything to be there. And I could just for a joke check the Boston Globe. I mean, there's nothing, folks. So, hey, listen, it's all good news for us. But what I want you to know, and the reason I point that out, is because I'm the ultimate of what do you bring to the table? And when you're trying to size up and evaluate what type of, how you want to get your news, where you want to get your news, how is it different? I'm showing you in real time exactly how it's different. I consider bank robbery is a very serious crime. But do you see the pattern that is emerging? And the pattern that's emerging is we have these encampments all over the place, and the homeless problem is getting worse. The homeless problem is not, the homeless problem in our area is, excuse me, it's not getting better. It's getting worse. And I think, I also notice, it's interesting to me that when we post a photo on the Facebook page, or we can also post some on depetro.com, which we will do. But some of the people that post, like, don't show that. Don't show that there are people pitching a tent on a city street. Don't show. You don't have permission. Listen, Rhode Island is a one consent state. We don't need their permission. That's number one. Number two, there's a normalcy that's starting to go along with this that you don't want to fall into. I remember years ago in Edgewood, when I was growing up, and Father Donnelly of St. Paul's Church, who is now deceased, but he organized, and there was a big city council meeting at Cranston City Hall because Johnson & Wales was going to come in, and they bought the old Colonial Hilton on Narragansett Boulevard, and Johnson & Wales was going to start putting dorms in. And a lot of the neighbors were upset. And I remember Father Donnelly in front of the cameras saying, slums grow. And he's exactly right. And you're starting to see that. And people have these misconceptions. How would you like to be running a business and someone who doesn't work, who is unkempt, to put it mildly, just decides to pitch a tent in front of your business or in front of your store or next to it? You would say, hey, get lost. That's bad for business. You can't have that. But the solutions that people talk about, I want to repeat. There's different classes of homeless people. There are some people that have, as I've talked about, that have drug problems. There are people that have alcohol problems. You want to have safety nets there to help those individuals out. Try to get them back on the right path. However, there's a growing number of individuals, and in the Green New Deal, they are described as those who choose not to work. And it's becoming more and more. As I try to mention, it's not that they want low-income housing. They want free housing. So all these bleeding heart liberals, these poor people, and they should come first. Many of you are naive. Many of you don't fully know the situation. There are countless stories about it. I'm not saying it's certainly not a Rhode Island, Massachusetts problem. There's homeless everywhere, but it's increasing. Why is it increasing? Because there's more enablers. I posted a video of when I was interviewing some homeless people, kind of a man on the street. And there's 4 young guys that have a car, and they're sleeping, crashing at a homeless encampment. Easily 4 young guys who could go out and get jobs. I mean, they're in their 20s. But no, they're going to volunteer at a soup kitchen. Wrong. No, you can't. You don't have time to volunteer. They could be working, but they decided, no, we're going to get high. We're going to drink beer or drink booze, do drugs, and whatever. We'll sleep in a tent. You choose to do that, that's one thing. Don't make us pay for it. Why should we have to pay for it? I think that, but there's more voices out there, and they're very loud. The progressive voices. There are homelessness. The West Coast seemingly is the worst. But there's homeless in Miami. There's obviously homeless in New York City. There's homeless in Boston. There's homeless in Chicago. There's different classes, if you will, of homeless individuals. And I'm going to touch on that a little bit. But I don't, this whole business, some people, I don't think they're very sheltered. Oh my God, there's someone laying on a sidewalk. Did you go and check on him? Go and check on him? That sounds like someone who lives in the suburbs, who never ventures in and sees many of the homeless individuals. I'm not denying there's a drug problem. I'm not denying that. Did you go and check on him? Oh my God, we should be helping all these people. Who's going to pay for it? Do you want to pay for it? You can pay for it. All of these people out there, you have the ability to take your hard-earned money and give it to Crossroads and give it to all these shelters. You can do it. There have been countless examples. I'd like to talk about that woman on the West Coast. She said, I feel so bad for all these homeless people. She built a house and said, right near her property, and said to the homeless, you can all live here. And what did they do? They destroyed the place, number one. Number two, she then said, it's just a lot of young guys that are drinking and doing drugs all day, and they're not, like, it suddenly dawned on her, why am I providing a house for them? So then she ended up evicting them. You can't allow people to just start camping out in tents. And you have some people, they're not bothering one. You're wrong. Because the tents grow, the encampments grow. Can't have that. Then get a job and find a campsite, and then you can do that. Or then live in a trailer, whatever. You can't have these people living outside. Because then the wintertime is going to come around. Unless you want to start to have slums. Look at the West Coast. They've destroyed San Francisco. They've destroyed parts of downtown LA. Now, folks, this portion of the John DePetro Show, it's brought to you by Unique Health. There's no benefit to being obese. Rapid, aggressive weight loss that will last a lifetime, and it targets stubborn fat. Unique Health is a detox program, teaches you the benefits of clean eating habits, extreme weight loss, increase your metabolism and energy. You can call now, be part of a free seminar to learn more. Now, I share their Facebook page, Unique Health, 20 pounds in 10 days. 20 pounds in 10 days. How would you like to be 20 pounds lighter in 10 days? It's not a diet change, it's a lifestyle change. Call Sandra, 401-269-9155. Sustainable weight loss. Unique Health. They're right in Warwick, across from the courthouse. Unique Health, 401-269-9155. Do it for your children. Do it for your grandchildren. Make the decision. That's it. I'm getting rid of the weight. If you want to keep buying clothes to hide the fact you're 40 pounds overweight, hide the fact you're 50 pounds overweight, keep making excuses, woe is me, you could do that. Free country. Or you could once and for all say, I'm going to get rid of the weight. Unique Health, their approach. Call Sandra, 401-269-9155. Remember with the pandemic, the first ones to go with COVID were the obese. Free seminar. No obligation. Contact Sandra. They're also on Facebook and Instagram. Unique Health. Well, folks, good afternoon. At 12:29, you're listening to the John DePetro Show on AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. You can always listen online at the website, which is depetro.com. Look at what's happening right now. The homeless are starting to, it is starting to, it's starting to expand. And Governor McKee is just not the right person in charge. He can't handle the fact that there were 3 or 4 people with drug problems living under that underpass in Pawtucket. They couldn't solve that. They couldn't handle in an appropriate manner to get rid of these homeless people in front of the Rhode Island State House. It's never acceptable to just pitch a tent on public property and plop yourself down with your hand out. I also just want to share, someone put, just a reminder, we live in a Twitter bubble. The Succession premiere had 2.3 million viewers. The Yellowstone premiere, 12.5 million viewers. Incredible. But folks, this business that some people have in their comments of, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You want to get rid of them? So where are you going to put them? As if the responsibility is on all of us. Folks, the United States, I'm telling you, there are some people, they think they're living in Cuba. They think they're living in Venezuela. I want to credit Mayor Smiley. His first hill that he's going after is in fact the situation with the ATVs, and he's wise to do it. It's quality of life, right? Quality of life issues. So, but Governor McKee, he's not solving problems, he's just moving them around. Now, a lot of these homeless individuals, something needs to be done. If you enable people, if you say you can get free meals, right? You can get free meals. You're going to get a monthly stipend. You're going to get a free phone. Eat for free. That, maybe they find ways to get money, whatever it may be. If you tell people they don't have to work, they won't work. And we've been dealing with that since the pandemic. But it is seemingly is getting worse in certain parts of the country. In other parts of the country, I fully get there's always going to be some part of it, but there's different ways to deal with it. I've been in Atlantic City. In Atlantic City, if you want to panhandle, you have to get a permit. I was in Atlantic City with my daughter for the Miss America pageant several years ago. There was not one panhandler on the boardwalk at Atlantic City. You can't walk 100 feet in Providence without a panhandler coming up to you. There was not one panhandler on the boardwalk in Atlantic City. You don't have panhandlers inside Disney. Private property. Do people understand private property and public property? Many of these homeless, they don't have a right to just pitch a tent. They actually don't have the right to pitch a tent anywhere, but certainly not on private property. How would people feel about you go to Disney and there's panhandlers coming up to you left and right? Not very enjoyable. More and more, though, I'm noticing their advocates are getting louder, and they continue this narrative. I'm not being mean, but many of these people, they're wasting the gift that God has given them. They're not contributing to society. God didn't put you on this earth to lay around, take drugs, drink beer, and put your hand out and try to get and beg for spare change. That is a waste of why God put you on the earth. Listen, it is true. The churches are very generous. There's different safety nets in place for people that it does happen to. I'm aware of that. But notice, the situation with the homeless, if we're not careful with it, it's going to get worse, not better. And you don't have a governor, you don't hear it at the General Assembly either. A lot of people that talk about in the United States, the government should provide a house for everyone. I come back to who's going to pay for that? I know many of the people that say this are uneducated. I know many of the people that say this are unfamiliar with history. I know they don't understand capitalism. They don't understand the United States, why people want to come here. In other countries, they take your wealth. We don't do that in the United States. But the people of the AOCs and the tax the rich and that, and I want to play the sound. The CEO of Starbucks, he lit into Bernie Sanders. This whole thing of the negatives, right, about the billionaires. And he finally said, do you understand? I grew up with nothing. I built Starbucks into it. You talk about a billionaire like it's a negative. I'm not ashamed of the success that Starbucks has had. We started with zero. And you want to turn it like we're a negative because we've been successful. There's a lot of that in Rhode Island. There's a lot of it in Rhode Island. Folks, this portion of, in Massachusetts, by the way, in Massachusetts, it's kind of the progressive mantra, right? It's the redistribution of wealth. It's the AOC, it's the Bernie Sanders, and a lot of the progressives at the Rhode Island State House. They want to cap it. Their argument, no one needs more than 100 million. Whatever you make after that, the government takes and redistributes. How did that work out for Venezuela? Why do you punish the students? How do you know? They should have the right with what they want to do with the money. Why should you take it? Can you imagine Governor McKee going up to a billionaire saying, you can keep 100 million, but I'm going to take the rest of it. I know what's best for the rest of your money. Does that make sense to anyone? Folks, this portion of the John DePetro Show brought to you by Falcon Pest Services. Call them today for a free quote. 401-739-1322. 401-739-1322. Falcon Pest Services. Pest control services, Rhode Island and Massachusetts. Termites, bed bugs. Do you need an exterminator? Falcon Pest Services. And happy birthday to John, who just celebrated his birthday at Falcon. Roaches, mice, rats, mosquitoes, many other pests. Different types of home, multifamily homes, condos, apartments, single-family homes. Extermination services for restaurants, office buildings, schools, hotels, other commercial businesses. Maybe it's once a year. Maybe it's a one-time treatment, or it's monthly service, quarterly service, year-round protection. You can depend on Falcon Pest Services. Call them today, 401-739-1322. Look for them on Facebook and then online at falconpestservice.com. Well, folks, good afternoon. You're listening to the John DePetro Show on AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. You know, where is all this leading? I'm just looking at some other headlines. Louisville killer live streamed the attack. Varsity hoop star turned banker. The 5th victim has died. As I have said, I am not convinced that Biden is running for re-election. I'm not. I know he's hinting at it. I think the moment he says he's not running for re-election, he becomes a lame duck. And I don't think they're prepared to do it. I think sometime after Labor Day, I believe he's going to just announce he's not running. But we don't know. We don't know. I understand that. Now, I also, you know, it's interesting. You look at some of the headlines and the amount of attention that some media and some people are weighing in on the abortion situation. But I don't think that's where people are. Meaning, I don't think that's the big focal point. I don't think a lot of people are focused on that. Next hour, I will talk about the CD1 race. I will talk a little bit about the CD congressional district race to replace Congressman Cicilline, because it's really getting scattered now. And every time someone gets in, and a lot of the people that are running don't obviously have a shot, but the more individuals that get in, the more it scatters, and the threshold to win that gets lower and lower. So, but I think right now we are at a turning point in the state. Governor McKee, the Rhode Island governor right now, what a difference between two governors. Governor Healy seems to be doing very well. It's 12:40. Good afternoon on this Tuesday. Folks, Governor McKee right now won't sit down for an interview with Channel 12. Right now, Governor McKee will not sit down with Channel 10 for an interview. Right now, Governor McKee will not sit down with the Providence Journal or the Boston Globe. That's where he has found himself. Or Channel 6, or whatever. He was elected in November. He was sworn in January. The wheels are already off. And the COVID money is coming to an end. The COVID money is coming to an end next month. Rhode Island is scheduled to be the last state to receive that COVID money. And you're going to see some people saying we should keep the COVID money going. They're trying to figure out how to do it. But you're on the verge of watching what is going to be a very desperate governor who is going to be facing a lot of tough challenges and a lot of his own making and trying to appease certain groups. But the state and blew through so much money. Governor McKee, blew through millions in these bonuses to Providence teachers and state workers, and $30 million to the correctional officers in overtime, and bonuses to former correctional officers, and bonuses to the state police to wear their body cams, and on and on. And, you know, $5 million there, $5 million there. After a while, as they say, you're talking about real money. He has just absolutely, a fool in his money soon parted. Governor McKee has just blown through so much of that COVID money. And he still has not assembled really a good, competent staff around him. And I don't know where all of this is going. But I'm telling you, you know, there's way too many people working at the State House. He has not been prudent of how he governs. This portion of the John depetro Show, folks, on this Tuesday, and it's brought to you by J. Perry Paving. Now listen, they provide high quality, fair pricing, exceptional service, letter J, J. Perry Paving. Call them today, serving Rhode Island and Massachusetts, for a free quote. Hey, get your driveway paved. Free estimate, any project, residential or commercial, or for your patio. J. Perry Paving, 401-732-1730. 401-732-1730, letter J, J. Perry Paving. And learn also about the benefits of asphalt paving. J. Perry Paving, licensed and insured, contracted company, committed to meeting your needs. No matter how big or small. Some people have their driveway paved. Some people have a parking lot paved. Residential or commercial. They specialize brand new asphalt, removal, repair, resurfacing. Call them. It's affordable, whether it's a brand new paving project or just a cracked driveway. J. Perry Paving. Call today, 401-732-1730. You can also find them on Facebook, and their website is letter J, jperrypaving.com. Well, folks, good afternoon at 12:44. You're listening to the John depetro Show. It's AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. Again, remember, we go until 2 o'clock. Visit the website, depetro.com. We have unique video up. For many of you that are not on Facebook, then be part of the YouTube channel. All the links are right there on the website, depetro.com, where also, if you would like to reach me, you can hit Contact John. Look right there. I'm looking at it. If you'd like to advertise on the show, meet other like-minded people. If you ever miss some segment of the radio show, you can also go into the shop. But you look at right now, we were the first ones that had the video that the state police took out a body in North Providence last week. We're the only ones that have the Pawtucket bank robbery. We're the first ones to have the East Greenwich bank robbery. Folks, it all depends on how you want to get your news. If you want to get your news sanitized, if you want to get your news, we also, the Rhode Island Shuffle with the girlfriend of the PC player, all of that, visit the website, depetro.com. We also have some great merchandise there. But it depends. If for people, some people want sanitized news. Some people say, I get the people, they contact me, I don't think you should show the live footage. You know, you don't want to show the live footage. You should tape it, but then clean it up a little bit, right? I have people contact saying, you know, when you're showing some of these shootings, or the ATV riders, or some of the panhandlers, or the homeless encampments, you know, it's kind of, I received an email from someone who works for the Chamber of Commerce. You know, it's kind of a negative. You may want to rethink some of your coverage. Hey, listen, I don't work for the Chamber of Commerce. All right? Our program is for real news as it's happening in real time. That's what it's for. It's not, if you want fluff, then this is, like I said, it all depends on what you want. Because the rest of the media, there's lines and boundaries. And I'll give you a good example. It should come as no surprise how many people were really out covering the Black Lives Matter protests when they were destroying the city of Providence and wanted to destroy some of the other surrounding areas. Not a lot. As a matter of fact, really at the end there was no one else there but me. And if you saw it on the television stations coverage, it was always really positive. These are young activists and they just want to make a change. And they'd interview them and they just want to bring, they wouldn't even highlight the fact that many of them had criminal records. I still remember that young activist thing. She's just a young girl who's trying to improve her community. She did time at the training school for bringing a weapon to school when she was in high school. That's the change we're talking about? How come you, all I ask is, how come you leave that out of the coverage? I'm not even going to talk about some of the radio people down the dial, right? I'm not even going to talk about that. All they know is what they're told, right? It all depends on the type of coverage that you want. So, and some people like that type of coverage, as a matter of fact. Some people, they're more comfortable. They don't like the rawness of a lot of what we do. But I like to know. I like it that it's real. I like that it's live. I provide the type of coverage that I like to watch. I don't need someone filtering stuff out for me, right? You know, there's different situations of that. We don't need that. I'll decide. You know, can you not show some of the shootings? I was trying to watch it with my kids, and it just seemed, well, you know, this is really for adults. Maybe the content's not right. I have people, I tell them, you know, maybe the page isn't for you. I'm not offended by it. If you want like fluff, or here's a recipe, or watch the little trick that this hamster does, I know there's an audience for that. It's not what I'm looking for. Folks, this portion of the John depetro Show, brought to you by AtMed Urgent Care. All your medical needs, occupational medical services, available 2 locations. Now, one is in the Atwood Medical Center, Suite 122 in Johnson. The other was on 5750 Post Road, East Greenwich. AtMed Urgent Care. The next time you have an emergency, and if you need urgent care, this is where you want to go. If you want to wait for a few hours at a hospital emergency room, be my guest. But you want urgent care? I have visited both locations when I needed urgent care. And my experience was they saw me in less than 30 minutes. AtMed Urgent Care. Cost-efficient alternative to hospital-based emergencies. They're open 7 days a week. They have doctors and nurses. But the next time you or a family member, coworker has an emergency, AtMed Urgent Care. 2 locations, 1524 Atwood Avenue in Johnston, right in the Atwood Medical Center, 5750 Post Road, East Greenwich, AtMed Urgent Care. Now, folks, at 12:49, good afternoon. You're listening to the John depetro Show on AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. This portion of our program is brought to you by Lawn Doctor of Rhode Island. Now, I swear by them. Your best lawn ever guaranteed. I have been partnered with Lawn Doctor for several years now. What a difference it makes. And if you contact them right now, and I mean right now, you want to be part of their premium 8 service program where they do early spring, spring line, late spring, summer, grub prevention, early fall, late fall. Lawn Doctor of Rhode Island. I get it. Here's the phone number. You can call them. 401-392-1025. I get it. Tough number to remember. I'll tell you, the website is so easy. LawnDoctor.com. LawnDoctor.com. You type in your zip code, get a quick, easy quote. What a difference it makes. We make great lawns happen and a whole lot more. Lawn Doctor of Rhode Island. You know, as far as the homeless situation, folks, I believe it should be hand in hand. It should be. And I believe that, because people say, what's your, oh, then what's your solution? You can't camp outside. When you allow people to start to do the tents and just plopping down on a sidewalk or by a riverbank or wherever, it starts to grow. You can't allow that. I'm not saying you just keep kicking these people out, but I think it should go hand in hand with, it begins to me and ends with employment. Many of these, not all, many of these individuals perfectly capable of maintaining employment. But when people go off the rails and they don't work, and many times it's true, they develop a drug problem, their family kicks them out, they're not welcome different places, I get it. Then it just starts. A big part of it is drug problem. But more and more, and you're going to see this between now and November, people say, I'll take my chances. I know where I can get free food. I know where I can shower. I know where I can get hotel vouchers. I have a free phone. And I'm just going to, I don't want to work. That population is growing, as a matter of fact. It's growing. And I'll say this about the homeless, that they have very loud advocates. Now I want to read you an email. This is from Holly. Dear Juan, I love your program. I listen each day and I love all your video. If I could make a request, could you please remove the story on your Facebook page? This was a Facebook message about the woman from Rhode Island who was killed at the homeless shelter in Vermont. As much as I feel bad for her family, it is slowly giving, and it gives people in that situation, parentheses, homeless shelters, kitchens, it's giving them a bad name. If you would be so kind to remove it. Thank you, love your show. Well, here's the thing, Holly. So that is a terrible story. Just happened. Woman from Rhode Island was helping out at a shelter, homeless soup kitchen, what have you, in Vermont. And a woman who was a regular there got some money, went out, and it's gruesome, and bought an axe and killed her right there. So that happened. That's real life. So you want me to take down that story because you feel it? See, no, first of all, thank you, but no, I'm not going to remove it. It's not hearsay. It's not a story I think I heard about. It really happened. And they caught the woman that did it, and it's so horrific. But what does it show? It shows that some of those individuals can be dangerous. Some of those individuals can be violent. Some of those individuals, that woman who was arrested and then was in court and of course pled not guilty, she took a beautiful life. She took the life of someone that was trying to help her. So you want me to remove it? I know of someone who had a family member who was killed past couple of years due to inner city gang violence. And it was one of those things of wrong place at the wrong time. Was not involved in any way with a gang. And the person even said to me, we had no idea that the area that they went into was dangerous. We didn't know that there was a gang problem. We didn't know that there were shootings. Folks, there's that famous scene in Jaws when Sheriff Brody's on the dock and the woman comes, now in the black, and she slaps his face. Her son was eaten on the raft. And what does she say to the sheriff? I just learned that a woman, young woman, was eaten by a shark who was swimming, and you didn't tell anyone. Remember Larry the mayor? They convinced Brody not to announce that, right? You knew. And she storms off after slapping Roy Schneider, Sheriff Brody's face. But what was the message there? My son is gone. You knew there was a shark out there, and you hid it from us. Translation, if I had known there was a shark, I wouldn't have had my son swimming out there, becoming the next meal for Jaws. So, folks, my point is, see, that was the Elorza thing, right? Don't tell anyone. What gang problem? We don't even have gangs. We don't allow the police to track the gangs anymore. Governor McKee, oh no, there's no gang problem. Right? The people telling me, hey, cool it on all the reportings about the shootings. Governor McKee never acknowledges when drunk drivers kill young people, kill anyone on the roads. What does Governor McKee say? No, we don't have a drunk driving problem. No, not at all. For me to admit there was, that'd be bad for tourism. They're not looking out for you. That much we know. Folks, this portion of the John DePetro show, now, I understand there can be confusion with people investing in some of these different schemes. Gold now, people are pushing buy gold. I don't know if it's right or wrong. There are people saying, go into crypto. Do this with your money. Do that with your money. All I'm suggesting is take advantage of a free consultation with our guy, Tom Bryant. I am offering you on this sunny Tuesday a free consultation. Tom Bryant, Ameriprise Financial, 401-434-1510. 401-434-1510. Tom Bryant, Ameriprise Financial. His office is right in East Providence. Listen, should you buy gold? Should you get into crypto? Why not at least find out about long-term care coverage? Now, we've had him on. He's very knowledgeable. And whether it's long-term major purchase planning, long-term planning, education planning, or what you should do with some of your investments. Tom Bryan, Ameriprise Financial. Call right now. I also share his Facebook page, 401-434-1510. Ameriprise Financial, over 125 years. Listen, deal with someone. That's what he does. If you have a problem with your eyes, you go to an eye doctor. You have a problem with your feet, you go to a podiatrist. You have some questions about your finances? Why not sit down with Tom Bryan, Ameriprise Financial, 401-434-1510. Offices located at 400 Massasoit Avenue in East Providence. Tom Bryan, Ameriprise Financial. Well, folks, good afternoon. At 12:59. You're listening to the John DePetro Show. It's AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. Now, next hour will be radio only. You can listen AM 1380, 99.9 FM. I am going to talk about the Cicilline vacating his seat, the congressional race, and a lot more. I will be doing Facebook Live later. Cranston PD Live is later in the week. The big local story to me is this is the second bank robbery. We had a bank robbery on Saturday morning in Pawtucket, and then an East Greenwich bank was robbed this morning. So I don't know if it's the same person, but be cautious out there. All right, next hour, radio only, AM 1380, 99.9 FM. We're going to break and get a news update at 1 o'clock, the 1 o'clock news. We'll be back on the other side, another hour to go right here on the John DePetro Show.